Hello, everyone. Welcome to 48 Questions, the show where I bring on a guest and ask them 48 questions. My name is Natalie Is Not, and I am joined today by the Narwhal Sea Queen herself, Lisjustice. Liz, how are you today?
Hi, I am good. I am good. How are you guys doing today? Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, but pardon any background noise if you hear my fire alarm or anything of that going off because maintenance is here because we had a busted pipe today, so they're fixing
Oh
that.
no.
So it's great.
And and again, thank you for coming on. So last second. I know we only talked about this literally yesterday.
Yeah, no worries. No worries at all.
Um,
I'm here to help the homies out. And I didn't
hello,
have
hello.
anything, so it was like a freebie spot. So I was like, yeah, of course. I was like, good. I don't have anything, so I can help the homie out. So
It's 3 a.m. Comedy, go to bed. The VOD will be up, and the video will be on YouTube, so you'll be able to see it.
hmm.
Please go to bed.
Yeah, definitely go get your sleep chat. If you don't, then I'm gonna be your demon paralysis demon
Sleep
and
paralysis demon.
yeah,
Yeah.
sleep paralysis demon. That's what it's called. Yeah, and I'm gonna smack you with a fish in my hand and be like, go to sleep. You know.
So yeah, before we get started, just going over the ground rules here. As you see in the title, there are a set of 48 questions I'm going to ask you. None of them are controversial or gotcha questions. So if you feel like skipping one, feel free to do so. Me and no one else will judge you, or no one will judge you,
Beautiful.
including me. Poor
So
wording.
wait, you mean there's no gotcha questions? That means I can't re-roll my if I get a crappy roll?
No,
I get crappy
it's
pulls?
unfortunately first purchase, first come first served, first buy.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, that's a
We
bummer.
have really poor odds here, but we're working to improve them. We're gonna hopefully by next month we'll have them up by 0.001%.
Damn. I'm getting scammed here, chat. Scammed.
Sorry, gotcha. um, okay, so if there is nothing else, are you ready? That is not one of the questions.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
I thought that was the first question. That would be a great
No,
first question.
it would be a good question, but then I'd have to bump up the number and it'd be less interesting. Nobody's gonna watch. Nobody's gonna watch 49 questions.
You never know.
Um. So, question number one: what's for breakfast?
Um, I don't actually eat breakfast, though today I did have fruit salad because my dad's here. So he made fruit salad, so I had some.
Okay.
Mhm.
I've never been a big fruit salad person. I've never thought about it for breakfast.
Yeah.
I've had fruit for breakfast, but never just a fruit salad. Might have to try
Yeah,
that.
it's kind of refreshing. It's one of those where I was kind of just like, he was making it and I'm like, it's not bad. And especially you can make whatever you want in that fruit salad. Like that's the great thing. You can put all your favorite fruits and make it a salad. So it's just straight
Yeah.
up fruit mixed together. It's not like an actual salad, like lettuce and all that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Question number two: do you prefer desktops or laptops?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Hmm.
Honestly, I prefer desktops because you can do a lot more with them as in like component wise. So like the good thing about desktops is you can upgrade parts in them. Laptops not so much. So but laptops are good for portable like if you need to go around and carry it take it on the go. So it really depends on what you're using it for. Like if I was using a laptop for like laptop obviously for like school and all that when I went to school, but like desktop for home and gaming and all that stuff. So that's why I prefer it over uh laptops and especially the customability that you can do in it. So it's kind of nice that you can change out parts and replace parts and not have to worry about buying a whole new computer, unlike a laptop where most of the time if something goes kapooey, you have to buy a brand new laptop. So that's kind of why I prefer desktops over laptops.
Makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm definitely kind of split on them. I like the portability of laptops, but I like the customizability
Yeah,
of
yeah.
desktops. Yeah, it's
They both have like their own benefits, right? They also have their own cons to things, but I think both
right.
are very good to have, but if I had to choose one or the other, it'd probably be desktop.
Okay. Number 3. What is the last song you listened to?
Oh. um so
Uh oh.
um so I was listening to, okay, there is a whole story behind it, okay? The last song I was listening to was yesterday, and it was Nigel Thornberry's Toxic of Britney Spears. Now there is a reason, okay? There's a reason to it, okay? I
Okay.
don't listen to it like on a day-to-day basis. It was the other day I was doing a collab with someone, and we were talking about Britney Spears, and like we were talking about all the songs and stuff, and then I mentioned about the Nigel Thornberry like toxic version of it, which is hilarious. It's really great. You should definitely check it out on YouTube as well.
I vaguely
So
remember it, but yeah.
yeah, so I was re-listening to it because it was one of those, like, I haven't listened to in a while. So I was like, oh, I gotta listen to it because it's hilarious. So that was the last song that I was listening to. Ironically.
Number 4. What's your catchphrase?
Oh God, catchphrase.
Like, what do you catch yourself saying most often?
Oh God, what do I say a lot of? Um I guess one of my catchphrases would be I'm not a fish.
Mm,
That seems to be very, very
that
common,
does seem to be
you
very
know?
common. I will admit some fault. Um, for listeners that are unfamiliar with myself or Liz, I am actually one of Liz's moderators on Twitch.
True.
I'm in her chat a lot, and I have only helped perpetuate the fish meme.
Yeah.
I
Everyone
told
calls me a fish. I'm a mammal, chat. I'm a mammal. I'm a narwhal. Narwhals are mammals, not fish.
sounds fishy. Does. I told myself I wasn't gonna call you a fish this entire time. Doing good so far. I
I
almost put
hope you don't call me a fish.
I I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to be good. I
But
just
no, I
realized
am not a unicorn fish. I am a mammal. Not a mammal, a mammal. You
a
know?
mammal.
A mammal? No, a mammal. 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 Sorry, I'm acting out a little bit right now.
You feel very strongly about it. I can tell. A
I
meme?
I am I am very very strong. A meme. I am not a meme, chat. I am an actual animal in the ocean. You can Google it,
Oh,
guys.
you can be a meme too.
I
Not
mean,
mutually
yeah, my
exclusive.
whole life is a meme. Okay, I'm just saying, my whole life is.
That's a mood.
That's just that's just my life in a nutshell.
and a queen, exactly.
Yeah,
Called.
I mean, I'm glad you noticed that because I don't wear this crown for looks. I am a narwhal, ruler of the seas.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Number 5. Why content creation?
So ironically, in 2020 when COVID hit, it seemed like a lot of
Mm.
people were also on the same boat and were like, "Yo, I'm just gonna stream." And I wasn't planning on it until one of my friends convinced me. She was like, "Hey, you should like totally stream like while you're out of a job." And I was just like, "Okay, sure." When we had the lockdown in my area, like in the US, they locked down everything. So like my job was like, "Yeah, you're gonna be furloughed until we can open back up." So Have fun. And I was like, okay, well, I need to make money somehow. And then my friend was like, hey, you should try this streaming thing. And I was like, sure. And I just did it for fun, as a hobby. And then it kind of, then it be kind of, landed in my lap. And I was like, wait, I can do this content creating thing. Huh? So yeah, it was, it kind of just happened.
Yeah,
Happy little accidents.
and we always love those, especially when they're good ones, really good
Yes,
ones.
yes. Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's I feel like that this is the first episode, but I feel like I'm going to hear variations of that story a lot
Oh,
in the
yeah,
coming episodes.
definitely.
There's so many people who are
Definitely.
like, "Well, I'm trapped inside. Time to go live."
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty much my story is not very, original. It was kinda just my friend convinced me to, and I was like, I can't content create." And then they were like, "Yeah, you can. Do it." And then I did, and then I was proven, 3 years later, I was proven, "Oh, I can do this thing called content creating." Who would have thought? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Number 6. What's your favorite smell?
Smell. I really miss the smell of the salty ocean air, when I would be out there. It smells just there's some sort of smell like when you're near the ocean, and it's just like a nice refreshing smell.
I fully understand that. I used to live towards the beach when I was
Mhm.
younger, and anytime I love the smell of it, and now whenever I something salty goes through the air, it's like I find myself just transported back there for a moment. Like it's
Yeah,
almost like
yeah.
I'm just disassociating back to when I was on the beach. And I don't live quite near the
Yeah.
beach anymore. I live a couple hours away from the coast, but yeah, it just
Yeah,
that's any kind
same.
of salty smell just drags me back to it.
Yeah, I don't live near the ocean anymore. I will be this summer going back to work on my dad's ice cream boat business. So that will be nice. So I'll be out in the ocean then, but it's always nice to go back and especially like my school kind of when I went to high school, they took us on this like trip and we kind of had this like just like this moment of talking about the ocean and how lucky we were and like it just has this like homey feel to it, like something about being near the ocean just brings me back in time a little bit. So
Mm,
it is special to me, especially I've lived near it all my life until just recently. So it is a very homey feel to it.
yeah. Number 7. Would you call yourself say so?
I mean, aren't I say so? Right? Like
Mm,
I'm very say so. I look very say so. My chat says I'm not say so, but I think I'm say so. Okay, listen. Okay. Okay. Hold on. I know you're humming because I have this window here, a booba window. But having a booba window doesn't mean anything, okay? It's just two
hmm,
lumps
hmm.
of fat or my flotation devices, I'm mostly clothed, like everything's clothed, maybe my legs are showing a little bit, a little thigh and all that, but like
Yeah, nothing
my
wrong with that.
hands are covered too. Yeah, like everything
Oh,
except for those. I think
honestly,
I'm pretty say so.
you said you have your hands covered?
Yeah,
You know what? Just for that, I'm inclined to agree with you. Hands, very lewd.
exactly. See, look it. Boom. Hands covered chat.
Yeah. Oh,
So it
yeah.
yeah. So I'm not I'm very I think I'm say so, but everyone says I'm not. I do say some sussy things sometimes without even realizing it. But sometimes I have my moments of being unsay so, but I think I mostly say so. I may have a um unsay so moments, for my what the waifus, but that hey, listen, VTubers, like I'm just gonna say it, VTubers IRL are hot as fuck. That's what I've noticed.
True. That's
Okay.
so common. Question number 8. Why a narwhal?
That's a great question. So this is gonna be really funny, right? Because I originally wasn't I was an IRL streamer. I wasn't a VTuber. And I'm sure you might have a question about why did you become a VTuber. So I won't go into too much detail about it, but um, pretty much what happened was when I was planning on streaming, that Christmas, my boyfriend's mother gave me a narwhal onesie for Christmas.
Hmm.
And I was just like, why don't I just make myself like wear the narwhal onesie while I'm streaming? So
And
that's that's
it
what
just
I
slowly
did.
evolved into
And it slowly evolved into, and then I was like, you know what I haven't noticed on VTubing? Narwhal
a narwhal.
VTubers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I wanted to do something unique, different. So I was like, you know what? There's not too many of them out there. So you know what? Why not be a narwhal VTuber? Why not? You know?
that's funny.
So
And
yeah.
I can tell you, I cannot name another one.
There are a few. I have met a few of them, but they're
Oh,
far and few. So they are very rare.
I say
Just like in real life.
I can name all kinds of axolotls or whales or sharks. I mean, there's a
Mhm.
particular shark a lot of people know. That's probably the most famous one. But yeah,
Mhm.
not a lot of narwhals.
Yeah, not too
Yeah,
many out there. So a
it's good
lot
to know
of
you're not
people
alone
luckily
though.
know. Yeah, yeah. I was like, I'm like, when am I gonna find another narwhal? And I did, and I was like, let's go. So it's always nice to meet other fellow narwhals as well.
Yeah,
But it is very kind of nice because it's very unique in its own way, and I think that's what kind of helped make me stick out of the crowd in a sense. Because I was something kind of unique in a way, even though my model design is like the most ununique thing. I was just like, yeah, just throw me in a onesie. There we go. It works. That was the original model when I first started my little PNG. It's like the little narwhal in a onesie. That's that, yeah, or me in a onesie. That was literally like, I'm just like, that's my VTuber, just me in a onesie. And then, I was like, hey, I can get more creative than that. And my wonderful papa who designed me, he came up with a lot of this on his own. I gave him some references, but I'm like, you get creative. Do whatever you want. I don't know how this works. So here. So he came up
yeah.
with this design.
At least you didn't go for an actual narwhal.
True. True. Yeah, I would have. I am thinking of maybe down the line of having my narwhal form
Like
like when I
the
was
hyper
originally.
realistic toggle or something.
Yeah, so like I am planning on hopefully maybe getting something like that done in the future because like my whole lore is that, I was a narwhal at one point in time, just a normal narwhal ruling her ocean, swimming about, and then, I ended up getting beached on a beach and I almost died and then some mythical being of some sort, I don't know who or what it was, but I am I woke up and then I was human and I was like, oh, okay, this
Oh, all
works.
right.
So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
sure.
So it
Um,
works.
and to answer, someone asked while we were talking earlier, um, do these questions count? No, the number is a little flexible. It's not exactly 48 questions. More might get added, but there's an official list of questions, but we don't really count the extra ones.
There you go.
Yeah.
You get extra
Speaking.
content,
Right, exactly. Bonus.
bonus questions.
Plus, no one's gonna watch 347 questions either. So,
Yeah, yeah. That would be maybe a
well,
little too long.
too long. Yeah. Number 9. Who is your favorite actor or actress? And this can include voice actors.
Oh, okay. My favorite voice actor or actress. Hmm. I think my favorite is probably Greg Ayres. He is a voice actor, so he's pretty well known in the obviously in the anime genre. A lot of you may know some of his works. He actually did some voice acting for Ghost Stories. If you ever watched that, that's
Oh
a fun
man.
story. He so he has a whole story behind that, which is hilarious. Pretty much the director was like, "Well, this flopped, so have fun with it." So all of that was like improv stuff that they just came up with. Um,
Yeah.
and then, of course, like Oran High School Host Club, he's one of the twins. So he was Kadu from Oran, which was really cool. But the reason why he's my favorite is because I actually know him personally. So he
Oh.
comes to a convention every year. He comes to this one near where I used to live, and my friends, a friend of mine, me and her family always go every year. It's kind of like our tradition.
Yeah.
And her mom actually like ended up just like becoming friends with him randomly, because he's one of those people that just likes to go out and just like meet people. He loves to meet people. He loves to hang out at bars with people and just like chat. And so he became really, really good friends with my friend's mother. So he became like really good friends of us. So we see him every year, and he's just a sweet human being, like so so sweet, so so kind. He's not one of those, like, you know how some the voice actors can be like, or some actors can be like, or actresses can be like, "Ugh, I'm too good for the world, like I'm too
The
big," like,
divas. Yeah.
yeah. He's not like that. He is like a down to earth guy. Like he just loves to talk to people. Like he always gets in trouble all the time because he'll just talk to people after the panels, like outside, and like the people will be like, they'll be like, "Hey, you gotta go. Like you have a panel. Like come on, we gotta get moving." And he's like, so he's just one of those like nice down to earth kind of guys, and I've just have the most respect for him because I'm just like, this is what many voice actors should be, is just be kind, like just treat people, obviously, like, yeah, they're your fans, but like you can treat them, with respect too. Like I think
Yeah.
there's, boundaries from both sides where, I think like obviously treat the person that you're seeing as, a human being, because they are. Just treat them as anybody, they're humans. And same goes for them, just treat people with respect. And it's very easy to become friends with a lot of these people when you just treat them like a human being, and they'll treat
Yeah.
you like a human being. And that's what I really like about him, is he's just so kind and sweet. And he's just like, even to the fans, like he's just so sweet towards them. So it's why I really look up to him.
It's nice to hear that there are still people like that out there. You know, a lot of them have
Yeah.
fallen into that, like I said, the diva mindset. But it's nice to hear there's still some down to earth people out there. And
Yeah, yeah. And he's kind of like what inspired me to, treat people the same, like, just be down to earth. Like I get a lot of people that come up to me and they're like, "Oh, like, hi, you're so famous and big." I'm like, Are you kidding me? I'm still a nobody. Like I may
right,
be a little bit known out there because of like, my connections, but I'm still the same person. And I think it's important to just remember to be humble and kind, and remember your roots of why you started, how you started.
hmm hmm
And he's been a big inspiration for that. So
Question 10. What always makes you laugh?
dude, the videos of like people that just like do dumb, like obviously they don't like. I'm just gonna put a huge disclaimer. It's always the times when people get hurt, but like they're not getting like severely hurt. It's like they get whacked and they're like, oh, they're like, ow, and then they're fine. Like they brush
Like
off and move on.
the people fall down compilations kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. And my favorite is the kids. I don't know why. It's always so funny.
Yeah.
There was this one video of this kid running around like a Mario, like the Mario music of like being invincible, and he hits a wall, and it's just like the sound effects for it. It was just the way he hits it, and he's just like, oof. I don't know why. It's just so funny to me. Like kids just doing like obviously not getting severely hurt. Like if
Right,
they're getting
right. Yeah.
severely, I'm like, oh my god, are they okay? But like the ones where they just like run into a wall and they're like, oof, and they're like, whoa, like they're fine, obviously. But those kinds of videos always cause me to crack up because it's just so funny to see how they like their reaction to it. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is. It's just like how they do it. It's just so funny to me.
Yeah, I, I don't watch a lot of that, but it does, like, whenever you see kids get hurt, cuz again, if they're not getting severely hurt, kids bounce back very easily.
Mhm, mhm.
That it's you don't so much have to worry about them getting hurt. It's just kind of like, ah,
Yeah, they're like it's kind of like they have this ability to like bounce back so quickly. I don't know what it is, but they just like they hit something and they're fine. They're just like, "All right,
yeah,
we're good." Like I don't know what it is. It's like they're like a bouncy ball almost. It's
yeah,
so funny to see cuz you're just like they're just like, "Oh," and then they kind of like are like what happened, And then they're fine and then they just go on with their lives and I'm like, "Man, I wish I could just do that. Just like brush it off and walk off, you know?"
right. Question 11. Would you consider yourself an artist?
No. I did used to draw when I was younger. I mean I still have some sort of artistic talent. I'm more of a pencil paper. That's kind of like my thing. Like I do have that gene that my family has of like we just have artists on my dad's side of the family. I do have the capabilities to, but I am not like an actual artist. I draw for fun, not for like commissions or anything.
Right.
So I wouldn't say I'm like an artist per se, but I do have artistic traits, I guess you could say.
Okay, fair enough. Number 12. What's currently to your left?
Uh, Chat, and they're to my right and my left, but
Oh,
yeah, no.
oh
Um,
no, you're
well,
surrounded.
to be okay, to be like to break the immersion here. If I look
Oh
to my
no.
left, it's the guest bed because my office is in the guest bedroom. So yeah, it's that, and also my other computer that I have. Yeah,
Okay.
that's to my left.
Okay. Wasn't really a deep question. That I think that was just a fun one I threw
I
in.
mean, I guess there's like closets too. There's also the vacuum. There's my dad's toiletries sitting on the bed too. There's also a bunch of wires that we were just trying to get this dual PC working. Oh, it's the Elgato actually game capture card I was using before. And some tools.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
there you go. Give you more
sounds.
specifics.
I should probably narrow down that question. What's immediately to your left?
There you go. But yeah, no, the,
You
the short answer
you've
is
managed
chat.
you've managed to poke a hole.
That's what I do best. I just find
um.
ways to talk hours and hours and hours
Oh,
for like a one-worded
yeah.
question.
Question 13. What is your go-to drink at a coffee shop?
Oh, a go-to drink. I'm actually kind of, I'm kind of I'm a generic girl. I
Hmm.
just get a normal coffee, cream and sugar. I don't
Nothing
go
wrong with
for
that.
any of the thing like iced coffee. Yes, iced coffee definitely is my go-to. I do like iced coffees more than anything because that's what I grew up on. Um, but yeah, no, I mean I just can't do like the frou frou sugary drinks, like for me, I just can't have too much sugar. Like
Yeah.
it's
Because
just too much.
at some point you're just drinking dessert.
Yeah, yeah. I just prefer like coffee, cream and sugar. And if I can get an iced coffee at a coffee shop, I'll do an iced coffee. That's pretty much what I go for. That's like my to go to.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes the simplest things
Hmm.
in life are the best.
Yeah, exactly.
Question 14. What's the best prize you've ever won?
Ooh, the best prize? Honestly, the best prize was actually it was not 100% a prize, I guess, but it
Hmm.
I guess it, in a sense it became a prize. Um was yeah,
I knew that
no,
was. I,
the goob's like me.
I knew that. I was
You
like
are not
waiting.
a prize, okay? Um
I was sitting
my
there
the
watching the
best
chat, going, "He's gonna say that. He's gonna say it.
yeah.
It's just a matter of time."
I know. Imagine winning. Yeah, I don't usually win anything, but was probably oh god, it was like how long has it been? Like over a year now? It was do you remember cuz I know Natalie you are in Evanito's chat. Were you there when
Right.
he did his drip competition?
That was one of the few things I missed.
Yeah, so he had a drip competition and so I was
Oh, I
um
think you've been called out.
what he won like percentage raffles in the last
5
raffles.
raffles.
That yeah, you are true. I have randomly. My gotcha luck has been really good lately. I don't know what it is. This year has been really good luck for me, um
Hey, don't
but
complain.
yeah, so he was doing that raffle, right? And at that time, I was in a not a great headspace because a lot of stuff was going on in my life and there was worse to come that I didn't predict at all. But at that point in time, um, I noticed he was doing a drip competition, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna enter it, but I'm just gonna do like, I'm gonna do something funny, right? Like meme. So it was just me. Like I had a photo of me in the narwhal onesie. Like it was wrinkly still because I just wore it. Like I was just putting it on to show people what I got for Christmas. Of course, it was still wrinkly and everything. It's like a bathroom picture, like see the bathroom and everything in the mirror. And I was like, oh yeah, this is the drip, right? And I'm just like laughing, right? I'm just like, oh, that would be hilarious. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'll win the first one, right? Like I'll get past the first round. And I was just like, that's all that matters, right? So, I'm sitting there, the photo comes up, right? And the photo of me in the narwhal onesie comes up and I'm like, okay, let's see what happens, right? Immediately it's like a 1 out of 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. Immediately it's like 10 10 10 10 10 10 10 10, 10, and I'm like, oh, this is
Wow.
hilarious, how funny, ha ha ha. And I'm like, okay, I won the first round, right? Then the second round happens, still getting tens. I actually managed to beat someone named Zycaki who wears the absolute drip of the lifetime. It's
Yeah,
insane. Dripped out. Like this man looks like a K-pop star. It was
it
me
does.
versus him. I was against him and I won.
Oh,
And
you
I
actually won the
won.
drip competition.
I won the drip
I
competition.
didn't know that. I knew you
That's
were
how
in
I
it. I didn't.
got
I never knew who won.
yeah, I got VIP. That's how I got VIP and would lead to eventually me and Evan becoming really good
Yeah.
friends. So that was kind of the prize, I guess, in a sense, where I became really good friends with someone I looked up to and
Oh,
have been watching for many years. So honestly, like, and he's given me a great prize out of it where I get to do content creating full time now because of him. So like probably the best prize I've ever gotten um from these types of things. So that would be my number one best prize I've ever gotten. So,
That
and I got to
was
make many friends out of it too.
that was so much more wholesome than I was expecting. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, I have my moments. I'm like I said, I'm very grateful for everything. So it's been really nice. So I'm very grateful and very thankful for Evan giving me an opportunity that I didn't think I would ever have in my lifetime. I was like, there's no way I could be a content creator. But apparently I won the hearts of many with that narwhal onesie. So
Yeah.
it turned out to work in my favor.
Yeah. That's again, like I said, I missed the drip competition. I didn't get to see
Mhm.
it. It was one of the few streams at the time I was absolutely watching every stream, and the one time that I missed the stream that spiraled out into so many other things.
Yeah,
But
that's how I kind of just randomly appeared out of nowhere.
yeah,
Um,
because I
so
remember seeing you in chat before then. Like I
yeah,
recognized your
yeah.
name from just being in chat every now and then it was like, oh, suddenly Liz is just kind of on screen. That's cool. Oh, that's a cool little model. You know?
Yeah, yeah. It kind of just snowballed, right? Like
Yeah,
it kind of just became this thing where like I guess I stood out to him and that he was like, you know what, you can come onto my stream, sure. I made a joke about being like he was like inviting, I didn't realize at the time it was his friends. I was like, oh, what are you doing, Evan, inviting everyone on your chat onto your stream now? And he goes, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna be inviting all chat, you get to come on. And I was like, oh,
I actually
oh,
was there for that one.
oh.
Uh,
I was I was so nervous like that
you
first
were, yeah,
time. I was like not expecting this. I'm like, I get to meet the person that like I watch. What is this? I was like so baffled. I could not, I was like, what is going on here? And then he saw my model and was like, yo, you should come on with your model. And that's how, the fateful day of how Fwends was born, you know?
yeah. Oh,
So
very thankful for that. That is it's a good fun show. I described it yesterday as if you want a good show where you just get to watch somebody just relentlessly be bullied by VTubers, it's a fun, fantastic time.
I know. It's always been my dream to bully Evan as a VTuber. Who would have thought?
Oh my gosh. Number 15. What's the strangest job you've ever had?
Strangest job? I'm trying to think. It's kind of hard because like all my jobs are kind of. Oh, that's true. The ice cream boat. Yeah, that is true. It is
The
a
what now?
very weird job, you know? Yeah, an ice cream boat. So imagine like an ice cream truck, but on a boat.
Uh-huh.
That's what we have. So my dad has his own business. He runs an ice cream boat and I help him. I help serve ice cream on there. And we were just doing it because we were like we noticed these other people were doing it a while back and they were starting to get out of it and we are like, "You know what? Why not? Why not try it?" Cuz my uncle actually my uncle and cousin were the ones who were doing it and they kind of were like, my cousin wasn't into it at the time. And so my dad was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, I'll try it then." And I was like, "Yeah, I need a job to help pay for, college books, things like that. Have some money for college." And so we kind of did it and it was good. We're like, "Okay, we're, making some decent money." And then, just after year, it got better and better and better. And now it's very profitable. I mean, my dad can make a yearly salary off of it. Not a very like amazing one, but like,
Yeah.
about like a pretty reasonable one in like a span of 2 to 3 months. And the people, like, oh my God, they're the nicest. Like, those people, like, you talk about loyal fan bases, these people worship my father like he is a celebrity. Like, he is a local celebrity in his area. They move out of the way for my father when
That's
it's
so
ice cream boat
cool.
season. It's so crazy. Like, and people are so nice. And we've gone to like millionaires' homes on the beach, like invited to these like parties. They feed us. There's like a pig on a spit, like kind of thing, like crazy stuff,
Yeah.
lobster dinners. I'm just like, what is this? And people tip really, really well. So it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy, like what they do. It is wild, wild. So I would have to say that's probably the most
The weirdest
unusual
job.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably one of the weirdest jobs. It's a fun job though. Like I can do it. Like I just love it. I love it. I'm actually gonna be helping my dad again this year. Because I just love doing it because you're out on a boat, you're in the sun. Everyone's so happy to see you. Like we've never had like a nasty person. And if we ever did, like these people, I'm not even joking. They are so loyal. Like we had another competitor, the imposter boat, as they called it, that tried to come in, and they told that guy off. Like they were like the
Oh
mafia
wow.
with this person. Yeah,
Oh my god.
like they were like threatening to come after this person. I was just like, okay, like, geez, okay, guys, like, so
That's that's so interesting. Like it's a very novel
yeah,
concept. Like at least to me, I've never seen that before.
yeah,
But that sounds like so much fun.
it is. It's a lot
Like
of
it's just
fun.
riding around on a boat, giving people ice cream.
Yeah.
That sounds like the life. I'm kind of
And a
jealous.
bad day, you're just on a boat, you know? If you don't make any money, at least you're out on a boat all day, you know?
Yeah. I
I
think
mean,
I'm in the
that's
wrong
not a bad day.
I think I'm in the wrong business.
I know. I'm just like, I want to eventually take over the business, you know? I'm just like, hey, um I'll take over, you know, when you decide to pass it on over, you know?
Yeah. I think you might have already answered this. I'm not sure, but number
Oh,
16, favorite costume or cosplay you've ever worn?
costume or cosplay?
Or because you are a VTuber, though I don't think this would apply. If you're a VTuber, your favorite model.
Oh,
If you
yeah. Oh, well, it's my scuffed model, obviously.
Oh my
I
gosh.
mean, dude, have you seen that? That is peak right there. It's if you want, I can pull her out if you
Yeah,
if you
just
want
to
it.
show audience.
Yeah,
I'm familiar
yeah.
with it, but I was just thinking, how am I going to show everyone this?
So
There we go.
yeah, this is it. This is the model chat. This is
Yeah.
the peak performance. All right. You like
Yeah.
this is like VTubers, they want like the best models out there. This right here is your model right here. This is
Yeah.
peak performance. All right. This
You
is
may not
what
you may not
VTubers
like it, but
want to be.
this is the peak form of VTubing.
Yeah, this is like this model cost me, almost half a million to get, I mean, look at the
Yeah.
physics on this, It's great. That hip physics, beautiful, you know. So this is my favorite. I love it when chat brings it out too cuz it's peak performance, you know?
Yeah.
So it's great. There we go.
I
So
love it.
that's my favorite model, you know. I
Oh
know the
man.
mouth. Yeah, the mouth is my favorite too, Great.
Yeah. Um number 17, best pickup line.
Oh god. Hey with Riz. That's my pickup line. It works real well too, believe it or not. I know people are
Yeah.
laughing, but like it works really well. I promise. It's a classic line. It gets all the ladies, you know?
Now, just to clarify, is it specifically "Hey" with Riz said out fully, or is it like a "Hey"?
Well, it is a hey, but then I also imply with Riz, you know?
Ah, so you
You
actually
gotta you
do
gotta
say it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You gotta say the with Riz, you know?
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. It really gets the ladies going, you know?
Yeah.
See, look it, sweet out here, make me laugh, and I'm already lost. So works. Yeah, exactly. See, if you can make them laugh, then you're in good good you know good favor, good company. So
Right.
I get the ladies that way.
I'm gonna have to write that down. Number 18. What's your favorite quote?
Ooh, oh, okay. This is easy actually. You can't you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Those are
Okay.
words I have used. I say that quote so many times to people because some it's just such a relatable quote because a lot of people try to like they're like I can't get this friend to do this thing and I'm like guys like you can lead it to water like you can give them advice but you can't make them drink it, you can't make them take that advice, like you have to you can lead it to them, you can lead them to that water or that advice, like you can tell them your advice but it's up to them at the end of the day whether they're going to take the advice or not, or whether they're going to drink the water or not. So that's kind of like one of my favorite quotes.
Hmm. Yeah, I like that one. That
Hmm.
one's I mean, that was a pretty common one, but
Hmm.
I never really had it at the top of my list. That's a good one.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those that it's common, but it's so true. You
Yeah.
know.
There's a reason it's common.
Hmm. Hmm.
Number 19. What's a big turnoff for you?
Um, big turnoff, like as in like sexually or
Just in general. It doesn't
okay,
have to be. It doesn't have to be that. It can
okay.
just be what's the thing that makes you go ugh, in
You
general?
know, it's being like just being a complete asshole or being full of yourself, like obviously if you're doing it in a joking manner that's a different story, but like
Right.
people who genuinely are like that, it's just i just I just can't stand it at all. um I like people who are kind and accepting and very funny and just like go with the flow of things. Like they can take a punch. Like you know how you like like people like bantering, right? Like I love to
Yeah.
banter with people. So like if someone's going to banter with me, I want to banter back because I've had people that banter at me and then when I do it back, they get really upset and I'm like, well, then
That's
why did you throw the first punch? Like, if you're gonna punch me, I'm gonna punch you back in a sense, right? Like,
yeah, that
if you're gonna
yeah.
banter with me, I'm gonna banter back, right? And that is a huge turn off for me is people who can't like or like they can make a joke about you, but you can't make a joke. Hate that kind of thing. Like you can't make a joke back to them, but they can make a joke about you, but you can't do it to them. That is like the biggest turn off for me because I love to have fun and like I like to banter and joke around and all that stuff. And people like that I just can't get along with. Like I've tried to, but it's just it feels like you're walking on eggshells. Like I can't be myself with these
Yeah.
people. And it's just like why is it okay for you to make fun of me but I can't do it back to you, right? It's kind of one of those moments of like how is this fair? I like people who are kind of who kind of just get the vibe and are cool. Like I like people who
Yeah.
are just chill and go with the flow and understand like, a joke's a joke and banter's banter and that's what I really like in people. But if you don't have that, I just can't be it's a huge turn off for me. Like I can't vibe with that, you know?
Yeah. And with bantering, yeah, it's the most important thing to always remember is be ready to take your own medicine.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's some people that just don't get that and it kind of goes and then I'm like, well then why are you doing it if you can't do it, like if you can't take it back yourself, like if you can give medicine but you can't take it, why are you doing it in the first place?
Yeah.
So It's one of those kinds of situations. So that's a huge turnoff for me with people.
Okay. Number 20, and this one is dubbed the Stella Luna after
Oh,
Stella Luna VT. She was the one
oh.
that suggested this question.
Hmm.
And this is, to this point, the only fighting question in the set. Who was
Okay.
your favorite character as a kid? Who's your favorite character now? And which one would win in a fight?
That's a great question she
I
came
know,
up with.
right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Um, who was my favorite character as a kid? Winnie the Pooh. Um,
Okay.
or I guess Winnie the Pooh or SpongeBob. Um, that's what I really grew up on as a kid. And then today, God, a character now today. Oh God. Um, I really am a big fan of Keo from Fruits Basket. So he's still like one of my faves to this day.
Yeah.
So I guess it would be Pooh Bear versus Keo or SpongeBob or SpongeBob versus Keo. Um
But those are two very different battles.
yeah, so obviously I feel like Keo would win the first one cuz like I love Pooh Bear, but Pooh Bear couldn't fight, you know? Pooh Bear's
Pooh Bear is
just
a
a
very
sweet
gentle
bean.
soul. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, of course like people but he is a bear, so but he's a stuffed bear. He's
He's,
not a
he's,
real bear. So
he's just a little
like
guy. Yeah.
yeah, he's just a little guy, and I just I feel like Keo, yeah, he wouldn't care. He would beat the shit out of Pooh Bear. So
Yeah,
like
I could already visualize that in my head. He like Keo would last about Keo and make sure I'm remembering correctly. Keo is the cat?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
okay, I remember correctly.
and he can
Yeah,
turn
Keo.
human too.
Yeah, but I mean he's the cat one out of
Yep,
the
yep, yep.
Zodiac, yeah.
Hmm, hmm.
Um I feel like Keo would only manage to listen to Pooh talk for about a minute and a half and then would just punt him.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Like,
that's how I see it. If
yeah.
we're talking about Keo like before Toru, that's the Keo that I could see.
Oh my god, yeah.
Um,
No.
yeah,
Then I reduced that
definitely.
amount of time to
He
about 20 seconds.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe older, mature Kyo would maybe be a little bit more tolerant, but like
Yeah.
at least his temper would be a lot better, and he might, you know what? It could just be like depending on what it is. But yeah, Kyo before Toru definitely like not even would
N-
flinch. Now,
No
if it was
contest.
SpongeBob versus Kyo, that's a good question. Probably, you know what? I think SpongeBob would win
Yeah.
because SpongeBob is just very comedic in his own way, and he always finds a way to win those fights with like if you remember, I think it like was it the yeah, it was like the SpongeBob the first movie that they had. There was like that big tough guy, and he managed to like beat the guy's ass without actually doing anything. Like he just has
Yeah.
this like aura that just prevents like getting beaten up too badly, you know? Like I feel like he
Yeah.
could get hit, but he could just draw a circle and be like, "Oh, the sea bear circle protects us from the sea bear." And a sea bear would come out and like beat the shit out of Keo, you know? Like
Yeah.
it's just
Like
that's just how I see it.
SpongeBob was definitely an inheritor of the Acme Corporation service.
Exactly.
Even
Yeah.
if he was
So
on a
that's
completely different set of creators, like yeah, definitely that history of just being able to reach off a screen or reach behind your
mhm.
back and pull something out. He's very much a descendant of that.
Yeah. So that's what I could see him winning in that fight.
Yeah, and also I really don't know, like from a writing standpoint, um I kind of wonder if one of the things is like it's not specifically this, but somehow SpongeBob just has more power the angrier someone is in his vicinity.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Like,
kind of what I see with him is like it feels like the more angrier they get, the more like they get their ass whooped, you know?
yeah.
That's what I noticed. He's just some mythical being. It's like Shaggy, you know. Shaggy, and now if it was Shaggy, then Shaggy would literally destroy everybody because
Oh
he has
yeah,
the ultimate power. But
yeah.
yeah.
That's just unfair. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
So
okay. Let me softball you a little bit.
okay.
SpongeBob versus Demon Form Kyo. You think it would be the same result?
Ooh, probably. Like
SpongeBob.
I feel like SpongeBob would definitely get really beaten up, but I think he would come out like just barely, you know?
Also,
That's how I see it.
SpongeBob and Mr. Bean. The fight wouldn't happen because both of them would get lost on the way to it.
Exactly. I don't think they could
They
win.
they would both experience a just nonstop stream of
It's a
slapstick events
tie.
that will drag them away from each other, like,
Yeah.
or they'll just beat themselves up and nobody wins. I think that's how it would
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. It's kind of just one of those like I just feel like they would both just not win. It would just be a tie.
Yeah. Number 21. What's your favorite game?
Ooh, my favorite game like of all time or right now?
No specification.
Well, if I had to go with all time, Kirby Air Rider. Hands down,
Ooh.
best game ever. I love that game, and I hope that Nintendo will eventually uh, come out with it on the Switch, like a revamped and a newer version, because that game is near and dear to my heart. I love that game. And then right now, the game that I am really into right now is Honkai Star Rail because it just came out, and also I get the wonderful husbandos and waifus that I can collect, and the story writing in that is like top tier. Like whoever they hired to write the stuff, like just the interactions in the game too, and just in general, they need a raise because they make it so hilariously funny and like keeping you entertained. Like they have a whole section of trash cans and there's like a story behind the trash cans. Like it's hilarious. You have literally a closet episode where your
Yes.
character goes into a closet and you just come up with like imagining things. You're like, "Oh, yeah, like the devil of the hotel. Oh my gosh." And it's like just a house cleaning lady. It's
Yeah.
like crazy. Like it's so funny. Like they make the main character just this goofy funny like MC, like so funny, and it just keeps you hooked, right? It keeps you
Yeah.
like really wanting to play because it's just those funny little moments like that. And like there's the character like Sampo. He gives me the goofy dumbass like daddy vibes and I am here for it, and I love him, and it's just something about that game. I think it's the writing in that game that really makes it like right now one of my favorite games because of just how well and written the story is, and I just love how sarcastic they can get. It almost gives you kind of like a Stanley parable, like the parable of Stanley or whatever
Yes.
that's the vibe it gives me, and I love it. Like it's not super serious. Like it has its serious moments, but it also has very like funny moments to it, you know?
I've been very on the fence about playing it. You're kind of selling me on it. I
Dude,
have to admit. Which,
I was kind of like, okay, this is pretty good. Like it's solid, but once they had the trash cans, I was sold. I was like, this is hilarious. Like you literally just click on every trash can in there and they come up with some funny story for it. Like I literally have actual trash like in my inventory because of the stuff I've done. There's like things where they're like, are you greedy? Do you want to take it all or do you want to take one? And I'm like, I'm going to take all of it. It's just so funny. Like some of the answers you can give, your character could be like serious or you can give like a really goofy answer and you're just like, it's like today I was doing my daily quest and there was a math equation. I was like, oh fuck, how do I do this? And then his like he gives the answers and there's one that says why does it matter? Why does each car have one tire missing? So I click that and the guy's like, "What? That does it's a math question. That's not the point." It was like so funny. But and of course like hiding in the closet and like like I just think it's like those little things that just makes the game more likable because it's just it kind of reminds you like your character's just a person, you're just a little guy, you're just out here trying to figure out shit. And I think it's cool that your character goes out there and it's just a goofball. Like you can could be a complete dumbass and it's just great. I love that. You can either be really like cool and serious or you can just be a complete, dummy. And I love it.
Question 22. In a similar vein, what game have you spent the most time playing?
It's between Kirby Air Ride and Super Smash Bros. Melee. I used to play
Oh,
so much of that to the point that my vision, I actually had a point where I was playing so much that my vision went black. Like
oh my
my
gosh.
eyes were so tired that it just went completely black and I was like temporarily blind. I thought I became blind. Like I was so scared of my life, like for my life. I was like, I'm blind now. This like just randomly out of nowhere. And I found out it was because I just kept staring at a screen so much, which is important. You take breaks while you're gaming, step away because you don't want to hurt your eyes like that. So
Was it
don't don't do that. It's not a good sign. Take time to rest and give your eyes a break. It's important. I
hmm.
learned the hard way and it was scary. I'm not even gonna lie. Like it was terrifying when it happened. I thought like that was it. I thought that was it. I'm never gonna be able to play games again.
That I couldn't even imagine. That
Yeah.
would absolutely that would be so terrifying for me.
Oh yeah,
I
and of course I was like 12 at the time or
oh
13.
man.
So
Oh,
I
that's even
was
worse.
very young. Yeah, I was really young. So those are like the games that I have played so much, like unhealthily, like an unhealthy amount of time. Um, and probably to this day are still the most played games that I have done. Cause like I'll play games. I've hit like 100 hours on some games, but those ones were like really, really bad. Like I probably have thousands and thousands of hours on those games alone.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that myself. That's sometimes you just really like a game. Number 23. Favorite place you've visited?
oh, that's a tough one. There's a lot of great places. Mm, oh my god, this is gonna be really tough because I used to travel a lot with my dad, especially out of the country too. Probably when I used to go to the Bahamas as a kid. And we didn't go to like, well, of course we went to like NASA every now and then to like Atlantis and all that, which is fun. It's a fun place, but there's their biggest island in the Bahamas known as South Andros. And
Hmm.
it's the biggest island, but it has the like smallest population. It has like less than 100 people that live on the island. And there's just one road. It goes north to south, and that's it. But like they have the nicest beaches there and I just remember, like, just going out there and just, like, playing in the sand and, like, having fun, and it's just this entire beach you get to yourself. There's no tourists, nothing. It's very, like you had to bring your own food to the island, and then, like, it was cool because, like, the restaurants that we would go to there, you would sit down, it would be like someone's back porch, and they'd be like, "So today we're serving you what we caught that day." And that was the coolest thing. It was like you got fresh fish, like whatever they caught that day. And it was just fun. Like it was kind of your own private island in a sense. And then of course, like I did one year when I went there, I made friends with some of the locals. Like we became really good friends with a lot of the locals, and they were like all the kids, and it was just it's just that experience. Like I to this day remember that trip like crystal clear. It's where I got my scuba license. It was where we met a really good friend of ours. Um, and I just remember his dog he had that was running on the beach. Like we had this house we were staying in, and it had like they had like a dog, and it was just it was such a peaceful, fun trip. And it was probably our favorite thing was that island versus like the touristy areas, right? It's just those like non-touristy areas that really are just they're so much more magical, you know?
Yeah. The hidden gems are often the most fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly. Getting away
Um,
from any touristy areas is always keen.
yeah, because
Good
I
idea.
grew up in multiple touristy areas, and it's just not fun. Or
Yeah.
maybe it's just for me, it's not fun
I
because of
lived in this
overexposure. But
yup. I lived in the literally the tourist state, Florida.
oh my
Um
gosh,
and oh,
yeah.
it's horrible. Like it's a fun place, but it's also kind of just like, you know, you kind of just like, all right, I'm over it. Let's go
Yeah,
on.
I went to Daytona Beach when I was a teenager,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was so bored out of my skull by the end. It all it is restaurants, hotels, and companies,
Yep.
and like
Yep.
a little bit of beach left. It just yeah. The
Yeah.
ground on the beach was just so many people had walked on it that the sand was just packed down. It was like concrete. It's just not fun.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Um,
it's always those nice areas that you can get away.
so I am possibly an idiot. 24, favorite
Hmm.
holiday.
Favorite holiday? Ooh, Halloween. I like
You know
dressing up.
what? That wasn't the angle that I was thinking of, but I'll take it. Because I was
Oh, what?
thinking like favorite vacation. That was what I was
Oh.
thinking, but thank you for rescuing that. We're gonna stick with that now. Halloween.
Halloween. I like dressing up
Yeah.
in costumes. It's fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think the I hate that Halloween has slightly faded away a little bit.
I know. It's such a fun holiday like to dress up and you just go to people's houses and get free candy, bro. Like that was
Yeah.
a child's dream. And even now it's still fun as an adult cuz you can still dress up and like it's just like I don't know, it's just like something that like makes everything like so much fun for people, you know? Like it's a holiday that everyone can get behind, right?
Yeah.
It's just one of those like
Unless you just
just
hate
fun
fun.
things. Yeah, unless if you hate fun. Yeah, yeah.
Welcome to the halfway point of the first episode of 48 Questions. If you like what you hear so far, feel free to give us a like. And if you could, subscribe to the channel. A little bit goes a long way, and it would help bring more interesting people to tell more interesting stories. Thank you. And with that, back to the episode. Boo.
Boo!
Did we scare you, chat?
Booga booga. So scary.
Welcome back. Thank you, thank you. What was that thing? Do you watch Moist Critical?
Yeah.
What's that what's that thing he says where he's like, "Bah, did I jump scare you? You weak, pathetic
Oh.
little thing." Whatever it
Yeah,
is, I
you
can't
yeah.
remember.
Oh god, I forget what it is.
Did I jump scare you? Yeah, I bet I did. You coward. You make me sick. Your weakness is pathetic. But now that I got your heart.
Did I jump scare you? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's great. I love that. Oh, dude, he has so many. You know what's crazy is that I've seen so many people dressed up as Moist Critical at like conventions. Just any
Yeah.
convention I go to, you just see him everywhere. It's crazy. It's one of those funny things, and every time I see him, I go, "Woo!" oh yeah, baby, that's what we're talking about. Like that
Yeah,
whole thing.
baby.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
baby. Yeah. So and like they'll look around and and then they'll just start doing it because it just makes their day. Every time I walk by, it just catches them off guard and they're like, oh. So I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think while we've been away and talking, chat
Mhm.
is apparently having a race. I'm not
Oh.
entirely sure.
Oh.
I think we've completely lost them. They're in their own
Their
little
own
fantasy,
world.
which
That's
I love to
okay.
see. You love to see that. Like it means that people are just having fun.
Well, maybe I can get their attention if I say booba. Did that get your attention, chat? Did that get your attention again?
Sorry, what'd you
Look at
say?
guys.
I got distracted for a moment.
Uh, oh yeah. I was talking
Um
about so, I, I
uh,
forget actually. I
yeah,
don't remember.
it's weird.
I, I- yeah. I I
Well,
I I'm very focused right now.
yeah. Speaking of, I guess we can jump back into the questions if you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. Number 25. What's your go-to comfort food?
Ooh, go to comfort. Anything that can be snacks. I'm just a snack kind of person. Like I love snacks. Any kind of food that is like a snackable thing, that is my comfort food. Like I just eat anything that is like snack worthy. I'm not very
Hmm.
like picky. I just eat everything that I see, you know?
Okay. Yeah, I used to be that way as a kid.
Yeah.
I'm
Snacks are
amazed
good.
that I didn't grow up to be like as big around as I was tall because I ate everything.
I
I
feel that. I feel that.
the shaggy thing of you just eat as much
Mhm.
as he wanted and it never goes away, which unfortunately people in real life have, and I'm so jealous of it.
Yep,
But
yep.
when I was a kid, I had that. Like I
Dang.
was a stick.
Oh yeah. Yep. We're sticks and then we start to get rounder and then it's very sad.
Yeah,
It's a sad day.
I would never eat an entire tub in one sitting. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely not at
No,
all.
never,
No, couldn't be
never.
me. Definitely
Yeah,
didn't eat a party-sized bag of chips all by myself. Oh god, definitely not me.
yeah, that couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me.
Always in
Definitely
moderation.
not. Yeah, always in moderation. Definitely don't eat family size tubs of things by
No,
myself and
no,
then
never, never.
when I get to the bottom I'm like, "Oh, I'm still hungry."
I know. I mean, I don't know
That's
because I've
really
never done that.
sad. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. I've never done that. I'm just guessing.
Number 26. What was the last job you did before becoming a creator or a streamer?
Oh god. Okay. So, this is actually the last job I did was I was an aquarist, which means I was a caretaker for a bunch of different sea animals. So, I took care of sea turtles, sharks, fish, stingrays, lobsters, crabs, you name it, we took care of them. Eels, you name it, like we took care of all these animals. Like there were probably over 1,000 different animals we took care of, right? And it was fun.
Yeah.
It was a good job, but it kind of was my manager was kind of not the best manager. He
Mm,
was very he was let's just say he was very old, right? So he was very he had a very interesting mindset and he always kind of pointed out like my physique and would say like I'm too weak to do things because I
oh.
was a very small skinny person and would just kind of like point out things and like especially I was a woman and um it was kind of just like it kind of just ran you down and I would get in trouble for things too that weren't my fault. And it was like, things that weren't communicated to me properly, right? So there was a time like And it was funny because he was one of those who was like, "Oh, you can't like take out your personal problems out at work, like like don't be upset at work because of whatever's happening outside." But then he would do it himself. So
Oh,
there was like a time where something wasn't communicated to me, and I already said the thing before it was communicated to me that we weren't going to do it anymore. And I was like, "Well, what do I do now? Because I just said it." And I went to my assistant manager, but, like, then he saw, and then I got yelled for it, and then I explained to him, I'm like, "Look, it was already done," and I asked, and of course, it was like it was just a toxic environment, and eventually I got let go because he just was a cranky man at that point. I guess it was just he was just at the end of his like he was about to retire. So you know how sometimes they can get like really bad or really good at the end. Um
yeah,
and kind of get more relaxed and all that. It was kind of how he was, but honestly, I'm very grateful that he they did what they did cuz I wouldn't be in this job then. Um if it wasn't for that. So, honestly, really glad that, they got rid of me cuz I was not happy and now I am and I'm enjoying my life and that's the thing that matters. I think it was a healthy thing for us to separate. It was healthy for them and it was healthy for me. So,
yeah,
I'm pretty happy now because I probably wouldn't have lasted much longer in that job either. Anyways, so it was a good thing to happen.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And sometimes the what's the saying? When one door closes,
When
the
one
other one
door
opens.
closes, yep. When one door closes, another one opens.
Number 27. This is going to be a bit different. When was the last time you cried?
Ooh, I feel like this is like a little over a month or two ago. I cried because I was so upset with my dual PCs not working. I actually did get very upset, but you know what? You know what I found out? Papa Narwhal, he saved me cuz he came over today. As he's here actually right now, and
Yeah,
he found out the reason why it wasn't working was because I was putting an output in an output. And so he's like, "Well, you need an input." And so I was like, "Well, I was told about like the Elgato Pro, the 4K one, the 4K Pro." And I was like, "Well, I was told like this would be a good one to use, but like one of my like Evan told me that my computer might be too small." And my dad goes and looks at it. He goes, "It will fit just fine." And so we went out today and it was so sweet. He went out and bought it for me and said, "Happy birthday, early
aw,
birthday." So he got it for me for like because my birthday's in a few months, and he was like, "Happy early birthday," because they're not cheap.
yeah,
Um,
no,
but oh my god, we set it in, he put it in, and it captures the audio and the video. And I'm like, "Oh my god, I can finally now dual PC again. Holy cow.
ooh,
We finally got it to work some way or another, and I'm so happy."
yeah. And I'll be
So,
honest, like, I know we don't personally know each other that much, but like, you were
mhm.
having so much of trouble with it that I was literally about to be like, I will come up there and help you.
Like it was so problematic. I'm like, why is this being so stupid? And it's because like my father today had to fight with my computer, my old computer, because
Yeah,
like at first we were trying to do like he's like, "Okay, we're gonna do a clean install, like thumb drive, like Windows to like
yeah,
help with it." Because I was having so many issues, and he was having a problem because it wouldn't let him install, and like he just went through and like figured out everything how to get to work, and like and then he was like, "Okay, let's see if there's anything wrong with the SSD that you have. Let's see if there's anything wrong with the motherboard." And we went through it all. Thank God nothing's wrong with it. And
yeah,
then he was like, "Okay." So then he found out, he's like, "Oh, you're putting an output like because I'm trying to use a normal graphics card." And he's like, "Well, you're putting an output in an output. It's supposed to go from an output into an input." And he was explaining it to me, and I was like, "Oh." And he's like, yeah, so this is how it works. And he's like, well, this is what you need. You need something for an input. And then yeah. And then we got it working. And now I'm very happy. And now I cried tears of happiness today. So I guess you could say I cried today.
Today,
Tears of
yeah.
happiness.
That's awesome. I am glad that you got it
Mhm.
worked out. Yeah.
Oh, thank God. It's gonna be so nice finally. Like I won't have everything running on the one PC anymore. I mean, granted, this PC can hold it. It's doing really well for like what it was, not able to do a while back, but still it will be nice to kind of offload a lot of the programs onto the actual PC. So that way it gives this PC a lot of potential as well. So
Number 28. Would you consider yourself to be competitive?
no. Not in
No.
the slightest. I am the least competitive person. The
Hmm.
least competitive. And I I've gotten to a point where um I've just I like I can't deal with competitive people either. Like if they get very competitive over something, I'm like, bro, I can't be competitive. I try, but it's just I'm not good at it to be competitive.
Yeah.
So
Um, Pretty simple one. Number 29. What's your typical day off?
my typical day off. I guess it's just like I usually do a lot of like it's kind of just the boring adult stuff that I gotta do. I gotta just be an adult, do adult things. Sometimes I'll just like the good thing is I can lay in bed and kind of just like chill and vibe and kind of just hang out and not have to do much. But yeah, it is just kind of mostly catching up on things like that I haven't been able to do because I've been just busy like trying to stream and all that since my hours are kind of all weird. Sometimes it could just be hard to like do a lot of the chores or things that I got to do. So that's kind of what I do, you know?
Yeah. Number 30. Do you believe in love at first sight?
No. No.
Wow.
Um
Short answer. That
I
was short and fast. Yeah, you didn't
well,
even think about that one.
yeah, well, I mean, so the reason why is because for me, like the people I fell in love with at first sight, it turned into nothing and it turned into sadness and depression. And when I stopped looking for it, and the person I'm with now, I actually didn't like him when we were first dating. I was like, he's going to be gone in like 2 weeks. He can't handle me. Like, I'm just going to show him my worst. Right.
You
So
just were
I
already
actually,
jaded right from the beginning.
I was so jaded and like and here it is like and we accidentally ended up together too. The funny way I always love telling people this story because it's so funny because people are always like, oh, how did you guys like what caused you guys to start dating? And I'm like, honestly, I was really drunk because this was in college. So me and one of my friends at the time, we were old enough to go out to like bars and stuff and go to the clubs. So we were like, oh, it's a Saturday, like we should go clubbing and like all this stuff. And we were pre-gaming. And so I was really, really drunk. And and I asked him to come like be our designated driver. And I don't remember anything, but the next morning I woke up and I found out we were dating. And I was like, oh, okay.
I guess this was a conversation you had that you were like, oh, we talked about that. Okay.
Yeah, I was just like, I was just like, oh, we are okay. And of course, I was very jaded because I was like, oh my god, like how
Gonna
could
be over in
like
a
I'm just like
week.
it's gonna be over because this is like stupid. And 7 years later, we're still together.
Oh, well, I'm
So
glad.
yeah.
I'm glad for you.
So
Yeah.
sometimes it's not love at first sight. Sometimes it's you get really drunk, you end up with someone, and then you end up liking them, I guess, over time.
You heard it here first, chat. Question 31. Who's someone you look up to?
Oh God, where do I start? Oh God. Well,
You can only pick one.
Okay.
I know it's like picking your favorite child or your favorite pet, but
Oh
a lot of
God,
these
there's
questions are like
two.
that.
Oh God, there's two people like I could go and talk about because they both are like a huge. I look up to them both really, really well, and I know you can guess one of them. Um. So, oh God, who do I pick? I'll tell you the one that most people don't know. So the one that actually I got inspired to do VTubing and actually found the person eventually I would actually really look up to a lot more was actually Nux Taku.
Oh,
So yeah, I know, right? And so it's kind of weird, right? You're like, oh, Knox. But
no,
my
I can see it.
boyfriend, yeah, my boyfriend kind of, you know, like mentioned him one day. He's like, oh, I found this guy, like this VTuber or like this thing, like he's really funny. And, so we started watching Nux. I was like, okay, like he's kind of funny. Like this was early day Nux, right? Like early, like PNG day. And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, he's so funny because he did his like talk like I'll be toxic to toxic people, wholesome to wholesome people. Like I like that motto of his. I'm like, yeah, like why would you be nice to someone who's being a dick to you, right? And of course, why would you be a dick to someone who's being nice to you? So I was like, okay, like I can stand behind that. And I thought of his like like the Billies, like when they would go into people like the shadow raids. I thought that was hilarious, and they were just so wholesome. Uh, but yeah, so I started watching his content, and I started learning about VTubers that way. That's how I learned about Iron Mouse and Project Melody and like all these other people, and that's actually how I discovered Evan too, was through Nux. And I started to really appreciate Evan. I thought he was really funny. And then eventually when the whole drama like between him like Nux and the shoujo happened,
Yeah.
when I saw Evan stand up for him and I like was like, "Hey, we don't know the full story. Like don't jump on the hate wagon just yet. Like let's hear his side first. We heard of Shoujo's side. Let's hear his side before we pick a side." And that's when I really started to get more respect for him. And I went, that is a loyal friend right there. Like that is a good
Yeah.
friend. Um, and that's when I really got a lot of more respect for him. And I I started to watch Evan, and then of course Evan became obviously he's my other inspiration. But Nux is actually the one that got me into VTubing. I was like, oh, this is really cool. Look at these people. They're like anime people. This is cool. And for me, like why I got into it was the fact I was like, well, the perks of I can look good all the time. I don't have to dress up. I don't have to put makeup on. I don't have to worry about the clothes or my hair or anything like that. I could just stream in my pajamas. I could be naked. You won't know because I'm not going to tell you that. But like, I don't have to dress up for it. I think that's awesome. I can just roll out
Yeah.
of bed and then just start streaming.
I mean,
I think
that's honestly the
that's
best part of it, in my opinion.
yeah. Yeah, that's like the best part about it. Like I think that's great. So that's what got me into it. So Nux was like a huge inspiration for me. And I think it's really cool that I did get to meet him as well. And we had him on Fwends as well. So it was just really an honor to get to meet the person that got me on this path in the first place. So yeah,
Yeah.
he's probably my biggest inspiration, which helped lead me to become friends with a lot of people I met because of him. So,
That's awesome.
mhm.
32. What's something you've built or made with your own hands?
Like physically, like what, uh,
Just however. I mean, it can be,
oh God.
digital drawing, or it can be a wardrobe that you built. Just something you made with your own hands.
I mean,
Even
I
if it was
guess the
just lunch.
IKEA. Yeah, you know what? Lunch.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of the food I make. No, but on a serious note, I have like a lot of artwork I made when, oh God, when I was in high school. Um, that I'm really proud of. I drew it from hand, like pencil and pencil paper. So There's this like a fun little competition one of my friends was doing a while back. It was like a year ago, and it was like supposed to be art of like you and him. So it was like it was really cute. So I was like, you know what, I haven't drawn in a while. Like let me try this, right? Like let me whip out the old, the pen and good old pen and paper. And I drew like a little picture of us together, and his whole thing was like being a cannibal. So I like made us look like creepy and like blood everywhere and stuff. And I was really proud of it. It came out really good. So I was proud of it. So yeah, that
Just
that
gonna
would be
skim right over
my
that
thing.
detail.
But that we might have like that we might have like murdered someone to eat them for you know
Yeah.
you don't know, we don't, yeah, it's fine, it's fine.
Okay. Sorry,
We don't talk
it
about the
caught
rest.
it caught me so off guard. I'm just gonna move on. Number 33. What's your phone wallpaper right now?
I think it's artwork that a friend drew. Oh no, wait, no, it's not. I forgot. I got a new phone that Evan got me. It's just the default phone wallpaper right now. I
Okay.
haven't changed it yet. I've been meaning to, but I just
Just haven't.
haven't had the time. Yeah.
Number 34. Who's a creator you like right now?
Oh God, who do I name? I have a giant list. I like there's so many people I can name, but it would probably have to be one of my good friends, Damie underscore not robot, because he is one of the, as he says, one of the hardest working nobodies out there. That that boy works himself so hard. He just loves to stream, and he's so funny, right? Like
He
he's
is.
just his whole persona of just like being an asshole AI is just great. Like, and of course he's like one of the nicest people, like one of the nicest people. But like his my thing is like we have this like healthy banter of just like being really funny and like hating on each other and um all that stuff. So and it's just so funny, like, but like beyond that, he is a really nice person, and he's so entertaining, and I think he just doesn't see that in himself. I'm like, dude, you are so funny, like you are hilarious. So yeah, I
Oh,
would have to say Damie is they're a speak of the devil.
speak of the devil. There he is.
Speak of the devil. See, like I said, this is how he's like, we need less Liz. But he is by far one of my favorite content creators. Like
That's cool. Yeah.
Damie, you are one of my favorite content creators out there. I was saying how you, as you say, you are a you are one of the hardest working nobodies out there, and I really appreciate, like, you put so much effort into your streams. Like, you always ask me questions of like, what can I do to improve my streams, and he's built such a good community. Like, I've met a lot of people through him too. Like, he's one of those that really likes to just like make friends with everybody. Like, he wants to reach out, he wants to meet people. And I think that's one of the coolest highlights about him is he's a really good friend. So one of my favorite content creators, by far.
Yeah.
It was really hard to choose, but he is definitely one of them. He's one of the ones up there in the list.
Oh yeah. Oh, Damie's on a list. Or he's on my list too. Damie, don't think you're getting out of this. You asked. It's gonna happen eventually. I just gotta figure out when. You're not next, but soon.
Oh, look at that. Jamie's gonna be blushing.
35. What's something that this is the controversial? What your first controversial one? I'm sorry, I lied to you. There is one.
Oh no.
What is something you make that others would call a food crime?
Oh, you just knew exactly what to ask me. Oh
Oh,
boy.
this isn't a unique question. This is the question I'm going to ask everybody.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Well, this is a very good one because if you remember, I don't know like if anyone knows, but Evan Nito I'm calling you out by name. This man cooked a $300 Wagyu steak. Well done. That is a food crime. Like the whole point of a Wagyu is supposed to be rare. It's supposed to be on the rare side. Like, how do you cook a steak that's meant to be that way for the nice fat? Because that's the whole point. Is the fat is supposed to melt in your mouth. It's supposed to do that. Like it just is. That's how it's supposed to be cooked. And he cooked it well done. And that is a food crime. And you know what the funniest part is? Is that a grill company tried to get in a fight with me about it, and now is like butting heads with one of my friends 6 months after the fact, still adding him on Twitter, and they're like saying they're bros and stuff. I'm just
Oh, that's so
like,
funny.
huh? So yeah,
All because of a
so
single steak. Evan,
all
what have you
because of a
done?
steak, all because of a steak.
What have you done, Evan?
Yeah, so
When will you
it was
learn?
just
When will you learn that your actions have consequences?
yeah, so that is the crime. So that is
but the question was, what's something you make that others would call a food crime?
oh, what I make. Oh, I'm
I was
sorry.
wondering why you
I
went
just
off on
got
that. I
so
thought you were just,
heated. Okay.
yeah, I figured you were just so angry about that
Honestly,
it just came out.
I don't know actually. I okay, I guess like okay, I guess one of the weirdest things I could say that could be considered a food crime in certain areas would be especially where I live. I live in the US of A, and it's eating like certain kinds of there's like these fish that you can eat from head to tail. So you can eat their heads. So
Yeah.
I eat these little like sardines. I eat the heads on them. So like that would be a food crime, I guess. I've had ostrich before. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know if you would consider that a food crime.
No,
I
that's
really,
pretty tame, to be honest.
yeah, like I just don't eat anything like super weird. I'm not one of those like weird food crime people. Like if anything, if I try something weird, it's usually because it tastes really good.
Well, I think
So
one of the key things I've learned about food crimes is whenever the person is discovered to have a food crime, they never knew it was. The whole time it was just something that to everyone else was weird.
yeah,
And
I haven't had one of those.
yeah, of course I've seen some like once the food crime thing became a meme, a lot of people leaned into it. Like you had Kyo
Rice with
washing his
soap,
rice with
yeah.
soap, or the now infamous candy cane pizza.
Yep, yep.
Like
I just
intentionally just left in the oven too long so it would burn too. Like Scarlett
yeah,
went all out on that one.
I just don't have anything weird like that, you know? Like I just don't eat anything like I guess weird
Well, it's like I
that
said,
would
it's
be
not weird.
considered a food crime.
Like
Yeah,
you might
I'm
not know it's
pretty
weird. It might be normal to you until one day you're just like, oh, like what do you mean nobody else
no one said
dips
anything.
their. Yeah, no one said anything. Nobody told me that dipping
So,
Hershey chocolate bars in ketchup is weird. Like nobody told me that. I thought it was normal, like that kind of
dipping
thing.
what?
What now?
Wait, what did you say? Dip what and what?
I don't actually do this, but it's just the first thing that popped into my head when I started saying it. The dipping a chocolate, like a Hershey bar in ketchup. I would never do that. That sounds
That's yeah,
horrifying.
that sounds disgusting.
But I was just
Yeah.
trying to come up with an example, and that was what came out.
Yeah, that's yeah. No, I don't have any weird food takes, I guess. Or no one's called me out on a weird food take, so
Okay.
I wouldn't know.
Number 36. Books or ebooks?
Books or I you know what? I am a I'm gonna be weird about this. I love a good book because I love the smell of the books and like to feel the pages and to like, you know, like swip like just to like go through the pages, like turning them. I just really like an actual book. I can't read on a computer screen. I don't know why. I feel like I focus better with like an actual book than on a computer. I don't know what it is, but like with the book, I can read hours and hours and hours on hand. but like on a screen, I can maybe go an hour at most.
Number 37. Have you ever lied on your resume?
Good. Did I? No, actually, I haven't. I've been pretty honest on my resume, actually. Um, I don't think I've ever wrote any sort of lies. I was thinking if I did, but no, I was just thinking, I'm like, well, I removed this job because like they didn't like it wasn't a good job, but that's really it. No, I don't think I've ever lied on my resume.
Okay.
I haven't needed to lie on my resume.
Number 38. Simply, why?
Why? Why
Why?
not? Why
Okay.
not? Yeah, that's my answer.
Number 39. What's a habit of yours that you want to break?
Ooh, God, where do I start? I have so many things I want to break. I guess it would be like one of the things would be I wish I was better like with I guess I have a bad habit of keeping track of everything and keeping an eye on everything. So it's sometimes like I'm like, oh, I have like 5 things planned today, or oh, I have like this planned. Or I forget about things. I'm very forgetful, and I just want to like start being better about you know keeping track of things. I guess is I want to be better about that. Um, I guess maybe a better answer would be like being more like organized too, I guess is the better way to say it. I want to be organized because I'm very bad at organization, and um I just think like if I was organized, I would have a better like I would do a lot better than what where I'm at right now. It's just my life is a mess, and I'm just like I need to reorganize and get everything uh you know okay. So that's the biggest thing. So
Number 40. We are on the home stretch.
woo!
Yay. Uh, what's the worst injury you've ever had?
The worst injury? Okay. I guess this isn't really God, what was the You know what? Honestly, the worst thing I've ever had was I stepped on a wasp and it stung the
Ooh.
bottom of my foot. Oh, that was the worst. That was the worst.
Anything on the bottom of the foot is awful, but that's an extra level of
Yeah,
bad.
I've been very lucky. I haven't broken any bones or anything, but that was the worst I think I had was that.
Yeah. Number 41. What's a good impression you can do?
Let me do it for you. That's all I can do. I'm very bad at everything else.
Question 42. Would you change your current username?
No, I've gotten very attached to it, and I've kind of made my brand now off of it, and everyone knows me like obviously as Liz Justice, but also everyone calls me Liz for short. To the point,
Yeah.
even in real life, people call me Liz, and I've kind of taken it like as my name. So it's kind of weird sometimes to hear my actual name. Like my dad
Yeah.
used it this morning and I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Oh, right, that's my actual name." So it's kind of like one of those names that has been really kind of and I've kept this username for so long that I couldn't change it now. Like I just love it so much. And what it became because obviously the original the name actually behind it was actually when I was younger, 13-year-old me was really into Death Note. So, of course there's a scene halfway through that I was very upset by. So I came up with the nickname Ella's Justice. And but everybody online would keep calling me Liz Justice. I
I
was like,
kind
no,
of
it's
wondered.
Ella's Justice.
I have wondered for so long because I've been looking at it
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, Why would somebody name themselves Lisjustice? This doesn't make any sense. That makes so
Yeah.
much sense.
And then it kind of just stuck. And I just really liked it. Like I just liked the Liz Justice. I don't know why. It's kind of just weird, but it kind of just sticks, right? It's one of those like it's kind of just it kind of just sticks after that point, you know?
There's somebody I met, or like I watched rather, that they were talking about when they met. You know, a couple, they met online, they met through VR chat. So they primarily got to know each other through their using their usernames. And he moved out of the country to go live with her. And while they
Mhm.
were living together, like I think they were a couple weeks in, and he went to call her by her actual name, and she said she almost crawled out of her skin when he did that. So even in their personal lives, they call each other by their screen names because just that's what they're used to.
Yeah, yeah. It is weird to hear people like, especially if I know them online, to call me by my actual name or to call them by their actual name. It's just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Number 43. What's the most recent thing in your search history?
Let me check. I don't actually know. Um, Video Ninja,
Okay, fair enough.
Micro Center near me. How to set up an Elgato HD60 dual PC setup. So I was literally all the stuff we were doing, like
Yeah.
literally trying to set up our my double PC. So
I'm realizing because I just I had set up this question and just be like, just give me the last singular thing you searched, and you've just made me realize that it's always going to be stream related, because almost
yeah.
inevitably you have to look up something to fix something, so it's always going to be like, oh yeah, I looked up this thing for stream.
Mhm.
Number 44. What's something you would tell your younger self?
Um. Oh, that's a good one too. Man, you have really good questions. Um. But what I would tell my younger self is to not get down about the bullies that are gonna like bully you or people who make fun of you. Just remember, like those people are doing it because they're jealous of what you have. Anyone that's picking on you or bullying on you is usually because they have a shittier life and they see that you have something that they don't. So they want to put you down in order to make themselves feel better.
Hmm.
So that's what I would tell my younger self is don't let them get you down. Don't be afraid to be yourself. And to go and express yourself and to go out there because I used to be a really quiet kid. So I would never talk and I would never step out of line. And I dealt with a lot of abuse as a child. So, I kind of wish that I had, put my foot down a little bit more. So
Number 45. Best compliment you've ever received.
ooh, best compliment. You know what? I like it when there's just the people that just come in and they're just like, "Hey, I don't know you, you don't know me, but I'm here to say have a wonderful stream. You're amazing, you're awesome." Like, they say like all these really nice things and
Yeah.
they're just like, "And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day." I think
Yeah.
those are like by far the best compliments because they just come in and they're just like there to just be nice and like to remind you like it's okay, like you're great, you're doing wonderful, like especially it's just like sometimes you hit those like very low points, but to have people come in there and say that, it's just so sweet. Like they're like, I don't know you, but you don't know me, but you're doing great. You're doing amazing. Like keep up the amazing work. Keep up doing what you're doing. You're great. Be yourself. Being yourself. Like those are the best compliments that I can say that I've received.
That's I love when I see that, even if it's
Mhm.
not happening. Like it hasn't happened in my chat, but I've seen it happen in others' chat, and I've seen the reaction that streamers will have to that, where they're just like, "Oh, thank you." Like
Mhm, mhm.
it's very pure wholesome. Just a little
Yeah.
tidbit of
Uh,
wholesome. Just brightens everyone's day. Love to see it.
yeah. It is. It's very sweet. So.
So for question 46, I have to be honest, I struggled and struggled and struggled to come up with this question, and I
Mhm.
just couldn't. My brain was a blank. So instead, I was going to see if we could take some viewer questions.
Ooh. Okay.
Liz, how do you not burn out when being on the grind? I think we kind of answered this
Self-care.
earlier. Yeah.
Self-care is so important. Making sure to take time for yourself, making sure that, like doing little things to for yourself, treat yourself. That's the important thing that I can say to keep you from burning out. Make sure to take days off, to take time, take vacations. You don't have to work every single day. I promise you, people understand you're a human, and they understand. If you have to take a break, take a break. People understand. Don't worry about it. That's what I can say to not burn out.
Yeah. Uh, Goop asks, do you want some more pizza?
I'm still working on mine. I haven't really touched it yet. I thank you for bringing it up. They brought me pizza up, and I'm like, thanks. I can't
Thank
eat
you.
this right now.
Yeah. Pat Parachu, I still don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. Do you still have that childlike demeanor you did when you were 12, or have you grown out of it?
You know what? I I I didn't really. So this is gonna get a little depressing. I wasn't really a child per se. Like I didn't
Mm,
really get to be a kid when I was younger. I had to grow up kind of fast. Because I had a lot of things that happened in my life, and I had moments of where it was like what I said earlier. I was a very quiet kid. I kind of just did what I was told. So I kind of was, I had to grow up really fast. So I think I'm kind of like, I have a little bit of the opposite where I'm now getting to be like childlike now, because I'm now getting to be able to be who I've always wanted to be without worrying about the pressures of things that were around me as a kid that obviously I didn't really feel like I had control on my life, but now I feel like I have that freedom and control now. um and I think I'm more of like I can act like a kid now more than ever. And especially like I think my
yeah.
dad is a huge inspiration for that, where like getting to see him now act like kind of like a kid too. It's very heartwarming, right? Like it's nice to go out there and just get to be what I wanted to be. So yeah, it's kind of like a swap. Like now I'm getting to be more childlike than when I was as a kid. Um, but of course, obviously, I've grown very mature, so I know when it's okay, when it's not okay. So
You have the freedom as an adult to not only,
mhm.
kind of explore that thing you could as a child, but also you have the freedom to switch it on and off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, which is something you don't get as a kid. You're just kind of always like that because you're literally a
Mhm.
kid. But being able to just
Mhm.
flip in and out of it, like, yeah, I wanna sit around and play Smash Brothers. It's gonna be fun. I want to play Mario Kart.
Mhm.
Fine, I'll go to the bank. I need to deposit this check anyway. I need to go do laundry, and like it's nice that you're able to just like flip back and forth of it because it's like it's
Yeah.
kind of like you can use it as a method of unwinding,
Yep, yep,
sort of.
exactly. So that's kind of the important thing is getting to. Oh, my character's getting all my
Yeah, I saw that.
oh
Oh
god, I'm
no,
dying.
you're
Oh
entering the
no,
fuzz
why am I
dimension. Oh
dying?
no.
Oh god, why am I in this fuzz dimension? Oh, it's getting that close to that time where I live. Um
Oh yeah.
but
Okay. Well,
yeah, no,
I
no,
guess we should probably speed up a little bit then.
yeah, but
um.
it's okay. It's okay. It's just that more people are on the internet right now. But
Yeah.
anyways, so yeah, it's kind of just like you kind of have to learn when it's acceptable, when it's not. And I've kind of learned that cuz like I
Yeah.
said, my dad's the same way too, where it's like um where he has his moments of goofing, being a goofy, dad, and then he'll get into serious mode when he needs to. So I think he's kind of the inspiration for that.
Yeah. But yeah, thank y'all for the questions. Sorry that was kind of impromptu, but now you know that's going to happen in the future. And I promise I will remember the tweet next time. Welcome back, Fred. We are near the end.
Yeah.
I hope you drove safe. Question 47. I think you might have accidentally answered the question. What made you want to be who you are today?
My dad.
Yeah,
um
you were answering
he's
that
kind
last
of,
question. I went, oh
yeah,
yeah, you're kind of.
yeah, it's kind of like I've always wanted to be this, and I think I never really got to as a kid. And then when I went off to college and had kind of like the first kind of little bit of freedom, and like I think even my dad can say like it was a good thing that I needed, was I could finally be who I wanted to be. And I started to practice on being that way. And also, I've learned like the world's shitty enough as is. So why would I want to make it more shittier? Just treat people with kindness. Treat people, with respect. And I've kind of learned that, I think that's really a good thing. And not be a dickhead. Um, so I've learned that the world's already shitty enough as is. Why make it shittier? So let's do some good. And I just want to be positive and live my life to the fullest and live with no regrets, right? So
Yeah,
and that's what I've kind of learned, and I've still have a lot of growing to do. We all do. We're
oh yeah,
humans. No one's
you never
perfect.
stop.
And I think it's important that, we take care of ourselves. And, one of the biggest things was self care. It sure helps me with my mental state. Haven't felt any better since I've started doing that. And, it's just treat yourself with respect, and not only treat yourself with respect, but treat others. That's really kind of the thing of life. Like, enjoy life. Even when things go bad, just realize, it's a storm. Things are gonna get better. It's just part of life. We're gonna have our ups and downs. You're gonna have to go through the bumps in the road, but you know what? It's gonna be okay at the end of it, at the end of the day. So that's probably kind of what inspired me to be me, was those life lessons.
Hmm.
And also everything that's kind of shaped me, like
Yeah,
I understand, like, I was a quiet kid back then, but it's nice that I finally got to be on my own. And I think, college, even though I don't use my degree anymore for what I do, I think it was still, like my dad says, was worth every single penny, because it helped me become the person I am today as well. So not only my dad, but college really helped with shaping me into the person I am today.
yeah. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
And finally, the titular question,
Ooh.
number 48. What do you want to be remembered for?
Ooh. I just hope that my streams and everything put a smile on people's faces. If I can just make people be kinder and a little bit, like understanding like life, remembering me for making their days a little less shittier, then that's all that's worth it to me. That's worth more than anything in the whole world. Is if I if I can be remembered for making someone's day a little less shitty, or able to, maybe change someone's mind to a more positive mindset, then you know what? That's all that matters to me.
Noble goal. I like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
so
the only reason why.
thank you so much for sitting down with me for almost 4 hours. On such short notice. I really appreciate it.
Of course, of
Thank you for being
course.
here. Everyone in chat, if you are not already, please follow Liz, twitch.com or twitch.tv/Lisjustice. She does a lot of Well, you're kind of a variety streamer. You've been
I'm a
playing lot of games.
variety. Yeah,
Yeah.
I play a lot of games. I do want to do more stuff in the future. It's just it's just my abilities right now are a little limited, but I do hope to do more stuff in the future. For sure, for sure. So,
Yeah. Although I have a confession to make.
oh.
I lied. I've lied to all of you. There's 2 more questions.
So there's
Um,
actually 50 questions.
I know.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's my big villain arc reveal. It starts now. I lied to you all.
Oh my god.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, this is horrible.
Number 49. What project or other thing that you care about do you want to shout out?
Oh, okay. Well, this is easy. Well, I have a podcast with 2 lovely co-hosts as well. They go by the names of Evanito and Usagi, aka Royal Geeks. And we have a podcast together called Fwends.
There is nothing about me
Something
that is
about
remotely
us.
close to being a bottom. You stop right now, chat. I am not a bottom. Fuck you guys, okay? All right, there's nothing about me that is a bottom.
I smell bottom.
These people are crazy.
Mhm.
bro.
Yeah,
I smell
I smell. His feet kind of give me this bottom smell. I don't know.
Inner
I am
bottom
not a
coming
bottom.
out.
I
Yeah.
am not a
Yeah.
bottom. Why are you guys saying that I'm a bottom? Nothing about me is even bottom material. You've met me in person, Frame. You know I'm a bottom.
I have.
Bliss, you've met me too. I'm not a bottom.
Mm.
Smell bottom.
What the fuck do you mean
Yeah, he
smell
smells like
bottom?
a bottom. So it's a wonderful podcast. We actually have a YouTube channel. You should definitely go check it out where we interview a lot of different streamers. So right now we have a lot of VTubers. We're gonna do maybe some IRL streamers, and sometimes we do some funny little every now and then we'll do some funny little things, like we did a spelling bee. We've done some things in the past in VR chat. So we do a lot of cool things like that. So definitely go check them out. And then yeah, I mean that's the only real project that I have like right now. But yeah, definitely go check it out. Oh, and I do have a YouTube channel as well. It's not the it's not it's nothing special, but you know, if you want to go check it out too and watch some of the stuff,
Yeah.
I sometimes post on there. It's very very rare, but you know, I'm starting a YouTube channel, so
Yeah, actually, you know what? Chat, go follow the channel.
yay!
Go follow it. You don't have a choice.
There you go.
Oh, gun to your head. Follow the channel. In question 50, finally, once we're done here today, who should we raid?
Ooh, you know who we can raid into? One of my favorite people, Captain War Dog. So it's Captain _ War Dog. She is a IRL streamer as well, but she is an amazing, wholesome being. She's hilarious because she sounds so innocent and so say-so, but she's the most unhinged, unsay-so person you could ever meet, and I love her to death.
Yeah, I have seen her before.
She's hilarious. You will love her. Love her, love her, love her. So definitely go check her out. I got to hang out with her at TwitchCon, and she's just a joy and a wonder.
Yeah. So yeah, again, thank you so much, Liz, for coming on here. And thank you everyone in chat for sticking around and listening.
Go check out Natalie Is Not.
Nope. It's not about me. It is not about me. It's about Liz. Go follow Liz.
No, go follow Natalie.
Thank you for watching this episode of 48 Questions. If you like what you heard, please like the video, subscribe to the channel for more episodes, and share with your friends. We record these episodes live every other Wednesday on Twitch at twitch.tv/NatalieIsNot. So if you want to be part of the chat on screen, feel free to stop by. I hope you have a wonderful day. Go out and live your own story.